Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Rahmi Nuraeni Hasani. My student ID numbers is 22220115. And here I will presenting the materials of evaluating course book based on Cunningsworth theory, and the book is Bahasa Inggris When English Rings a Bell. Without any further ado, next slide is containing table of contents. The first is introduction, and the second is literature review. The third is research method. The fourth is data analysis technique, and the next is result and discussion. And for the last is conclusion. Move to the next slide. We are going to talk about introduction. A. Background of the research. The first we have burning issue. Textbooks are considered a guide for students and teachers in understanding and become a benchmark for English language teaching. The next is the research problem. The research problem here is a textbook can be considered good if it meets the expert criteria. This evaluation will provide an understanding of the extent to which the book meets the criteria expected in Cunningsworth theory. The last is brief review of the relevant literature. Additional role in the English language teaching and learning curriculum. For example, it can be used as support for novice or inexperienced teachers who have not yet gained their confidence. Proposed by Cunningsworth, 1995. B. Research question. The research question here is, to what extent does the English textbook fulfill the criteria of a good English textbook based on Cunningsworth theories? And the last is, what are the aims of the research? It is to evaluate English textbooks for junior high school for the 7th grade entitled When English Rings a Bell. The next topic is literature review. In the literature review, we have a definition of coursebook. This proposed by Buckingham, 1958. Textbooks are books that contain descriptions of material on certain subjects or fields of study, which are equipped with appropriate and harmonious teaching tools. And the next slide is criteria of a good coursebook. The first one from Lee, 1975. And the next from Nuraeni, 1980. And the last from Romero, 1975. And the next is Coursebook Evaluation. Checklist for textbook evaluation following categories. The first is aim and approaches. The second is design and organization. The third is language content. And next is skill, topic, and the last is methodology. The next topic is research method. Research design use descriptive qualitative research. The data source here is Bahasa Inggris When English Rings a Bell is a module used by students in grade 7 in the first semester. The book was written and published by Pusat Kurikulum dan Pembukuan Balitbank Kemendikbud. The next topic is data analysis technique. This research used document analysis or content analysis method to describe the evolution of the textbook by Jensik, 1994, in Erie at 2002. Book evaluation using Cunningsworth checklist given score 1 until 5. The next is result and discussion. The next is result and discussion. The first is aim and approaches checklist. This is should be approaches. Sorry for the mistaken. The table describes that the aims and approaches in this book are very good. It can be seen that this book is good for the learner's needs based on Lee, 1975. The content of the textbook should reflect student needs and interests, so I give the percentage is 19% for the aim and approaches. The second is design and organization checklist. The design and organization of this book have the organized content and sequence. The textbook should be short and well organized. Proposed by Romero, 1975, and I give the percentage is 91%. The third is language content checklist. The language content on the table is very good. It can be seen that this book deals with structuring and also the grammar. Item is good. And language style matched with the social situation. Bailey, 1975, textbook should not give long grammatical explanation, and the structures and vocabulary of the textbook should be attached to the real situation. And also I give 92% for the language content. The fourth is a skill checklist. The table describes the skill criteria of this book is very good. It can be seen that this book supports the learner in real life. This is suits with the proposed by Mariani 1980. The textbook should start to improve their language skill. And I give 83% for the checklist. And the fifth is topic skill checklist. The fifth is topic skill checklist. The table describes that this book has a good topics and it's very interesting for the learners. Textbook should have cartoons and natural dialogues as many as possible so that the learning becomes more stimulating for the learners. Proposed by Lee 1975. So I give the 83% for the checklist. And the last is methodology checklist. This book has a good approach of language learning and the technique used good for practice. The textbook should motivate a student to read and comprehend its overall part. Proposed by Mariani, 1980. So I give the percentage is 90% for the methodology checklist. And the last, we are going to talk about the conclusion. Textbook is an instrument in learning both for students and for the teachers. After doing this research, it can be concluded that the book's Bahasa Inggris when English Reads Apple is a good textbook for student use and also to be used by teachers. So that's all from my presenting here. I apologize for any mistaken. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.